Testing, 1, 2, 3, okay. Guess what I have here? The winners, yeah, that's right. Without further ado, let's begin giving out the awards. For the 4th place, Sherban Cristina with Yuko Amamiya. It's a special prize for craftsmanship. And okay, wait. Okay. I would like to invite the jury on stage so they can explain why they chose what they chose. So we have CV. Lord Vader. And Raymond Seregi. I'm going to give the word to Lord Vader.
First, I would like to commend you on your new location. However, one constant remains in the universe. The more complicated the costume, the more stairs it is to the bathroom. I find your lack of elevators disturbing. I'm also not going to be speaking like this all the time, so you can relax.
Okay.
Face bine că am luat din străinătate jurul ca să nu mai existe suspiciuni, sensiuni și...
If you think the lights are bad normally for this gentleman, try it through 2 sets of lenses. Oh, and now I can hear you. Anyway, we wanted to avoid a little bit of the drama that you may have read about or heard about or even been there in person for in Euro Cosplay, where the judging process was shrouded a little bit in mystery and not fully explained, and people had different opinions that led to some controversy. We're going to try and be a little clearer about it, but I have to tell you that the competition was no less fierce or close together here than it was in London. Yes, that's what I meant. So it was a tough decision coming together, and they didn't have awards for anybody because we're not in grade school and it's not a self-esteem thing. But we're going to let this gentleman here actually announce the winners. And actually, since we have, what do we have here anyway? Christina. Okay, well, we're gonna... Sorry. Ah, yeah, it's much worse here. Thank you. You'll have to forgive me for referring to the notes because I think you all know by now I don't know anything about anime or video games or whatever, so the names here, this is my only chance to get it reasonably right. Christina here is actually an award that we made on spot because it was so incredibly difficult. I can hold this closer if it makes less feedback. Is that okay? No. I was talking to the engineer in the back, but that's okay. So we wanted to show you that there was a lot of thought given just beyond picking first, second, and third. It really was excruciating. But Christina here represents, we were just very impressed with the craftsmanship, with the sewing. Everything here is handmade. The disciplines and the craftsmanship this year is every year it gets better. I finally seen my first work with fiberglass. You know, it's not all Scotch tape anymore. It's wonderful to see the disciplines maturing. And here is an example here where everything was handmade. I, being me, can't speak to the accuracy or the performance in terms of the original character, but I know that we liked what we saw, and we couldn't let her go, or a few others, which we'll talk about later, without some kind of mention. But that comes later. Now the real official prizes, and for that I hand you to the guy who talks a lot less than me. So.
Thank you. Applause, please. Okay, third place goes to Pascal Josefina, Silvana Windrunner. So, would you like to say anything more?
Okay, I'm talking after each award, so no vacation for you. Again, I'm going to repeat a lot of what I said here. Christina is another example of everything being handmade. Obviously, you can't just go to Carrefour and pick up something like that from the clothes rack. Multi-disciplines, a lot of work with foam, some fabric work here, the prop work, the bow, everything being handmade. Which you can say pretty much about all the contestants, but it comes together in a very nice way, and I think this is how we can show it.
Okay, second place, Diana Kalin, Miyoki. Come on, keep it going, come on.
Cred că small a câștigat. Dar nu sunt sigur.
What can I say? Wings. Yeah, again, another example is anything hang on a second, this is Ray.
Lord Vader speak a lot and very good.
I'm going to find myself saying most of the same things about all of the contestants, because that's really what wins the prizes, is a knowledge of working with different materials. Everything sewn, handmade. The wings are all, constructed out of regular materials. Inhabiting the character during the performance is also a factor. It contributes. So. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep saying the same thing over again. Everybody won because of the way that their skills in the manufacturing, the way they inhabit the costume, the little performance that they give, and just the quality and a way they approach the character that they decided to do.
Round of applause. We finally arrived to announce the first place, which goes to Euro Cosplay 2014. And the winner is Ilie Alexandru Gabriel with Mikey from Halo. Come on, keep it going, yeah.
This guy I can talk about a little bit. This is the fiberglass work that I was telling you about before. So in the past, where you may have seen, where we've seen here similar pieces made from paper mache or commonly attainable goods, you've got someone here that kind of went the extra distance and started, I guess, working in a more mature discipline And that's actually what it's going to take in a place like Euro Cosplay. So someone that can do this kind of work from scratch, you know, that's what impresses the judges. Performance, if you're wearing a set of armor this big, all you have to do is just set foot on stage, and there's your performance. Some pyrotechnics wouldn't be bad, but you know, I thrive on destruction. So, yes, that's also something, sadly, most judges are not obliged to factor this in, but we do like to mention it's his first cosplay. So this is what he's doing right out of the gate. He hasn't had years of practice. So it's very impressive, you know, on both a demonstrable level and also intangibles, things that maybe not count towards the vote, but are good to know and make a difference. So thank you all very, very much. And it's probably something he should say, so hold on.
Yes, thank you for attending the cosplay competition. We'll be back tomorrow, but before, as Lord Vader or Ken mentioned, there are a few other cosplays that are worth talking about, and in a few moments I will give the pen to Lord Vader. Okay, I'm going to give the microphone to Ken.
This is what we've been doing, is just arguing with each other over very minute points that make a decision go one way or the other. But like I said, we needed to just mention some of the other things that impressed us. Certainly somebody that did make the cut, but just by a fraction of a point, not the final cut, is Cesar Andre, who was Noctis Lucius Caelish. Final Fantasy, the gentleman with the motor sword. So even, you know, obviously the effort went into the sword prop as much as anything else, but the performance on stage is a very good example of what impresses me or us because we're theatrically inclined. He made very good use of his swordplay lessons, fencing experience, whatever. He told us what he had, and my memory is shot. But that's a good example of what to do on stage if you're going to inhabit your character. So, well done, all of you. On that same note, in terms of performance, we would be very remiss if we did not mention Max Payne. Okay, there's no getting around that it's a somewhat basic costume. It's well done, obviously, but it's the performance when he came on here and went through the motions that he did was another example of why I really wish performance counted more towards the final vote. But in this case, another good example of what to do once you get on stage.
Thank you. Tomorrow, I promise, tomorrow. That's it for today in terms of cosplay contest. We are going to take another look at Versus, the funny animated cartoon in which two popular figures fight. Hold on a second. And I was announced that CV will have a autograph session at the Otaku stand in about 20 to 30 minutes. So make sure you you go there and get your autograph from that fantastic lady. In other words, thank you for attending the cosplay competition today. I will see you guys tomorrow and enjoy the rest of the events at Nijikon.